Hi boys and girls. Here is Ode to Joy after we made the staff paper and notated it. We have 4 lines of music. At the end we have the double bar line. Remember, the double bar line indicates the end of a piece of music. There's one that's thicker and one that's thinner. And when I notated this, I also put a repeat sign at the end, which that tells you to go back and play it again. 4 measures on each line for a total of 16. And each measure is separated by a vertical line, and those are the bar lines. That's the purpose of the bar line. I'm going to go through and say the notes, not with the tone, but just speak them. B, B, C, D, D, C, B, A, G, G, A, B, B, A, rest. B, B, C, D, D, C, B, A, G, G, A, B, A, G, G, A, B, G, A, B, C, B, G, A, B, C, B, A, G, A, D. Rest. B, B, C, D, D, C, B, A, G, G, A, B, A, G, G. And then you would go back and play it again because you see a repeat sign. Alright, so how many different notes do you see in this song? Not how many notes do you see, but how many different notes? Well, we know that the first note B is 1. The next note C would be 2. The next note D is 3. Those are different notes, B, C, and D. Okay, that's 3. Now let's move through this first line and see if we see something different than B, C, and D. Measure 2, oh yeah, this note here on beat number 4, the last note in the measure, that is an A, so that's different. So now we have 4. Now we need to continue to look and see if there's another different note. Here we go, measure number 3 on the second line, and that note is, right, G. And it happens to be followed by another G. So those are the 5 different notes that we're using to play Ode to Joy. Now, are all the rhythms the same? The answer is no. The rhythm in measure 1, 2, and 3 are the same, but in measure 4, we do not have ta, 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 ta. We have ta, ti, ta, rest. So there's the difference in the rhythm. The dotted quarter note followed by the 8th note. And of course, having a quarter rest in this measure is different than these measures. Now that quarter rest is 1 beat. It's very important that you remember to count that beat. And which beat number is that? Is it 1? Well, no, that's a silly question, right? Because 1 is at the beginning of the measure. Is it 2? Well, no, because beat 2 follows beat 1. Is it beat 3? I think you're starting to catch on. No, that's after 2, beat 3. And then the last beat in the measure is 4. So this quarter rest is on beat 4. The rhythm in measures 5, 6, and 7 are identical to the rhythms in these measures. They're also tonally identical. They're the same notes that you play. And we get to measure 8, we see the same rhythm almost. We see ta, ti, ta. And this one is ta, ti, ta, rest. So the difference in these 2 measures is that on beat 4 you rest, and in this measure we see a half note. It's played on beat 3 and you continue to let it sound, which is called sustain. For beat 4 also. So, example, G, stop. G. Here it's A, rest. That's the difference between these two measures. Line 3, measures 9, 10, 11, and 12 are very much different than the first two lines. Here we have another half note, ta, 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 ti, ta, 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 ti, ta, 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 rest. I'm using the rhythm language, ta and ti. The half note ta is longer. The quarter note ta is ta, 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 ta. This half note ta is ta. Now here we have some eighth notes that are joined together. Ta, ta, ti, ta, ta. In our rhythm lesson, if you remember, T is always the upbeat. It's important to know when you play the notes, right? Do you play them when the beat is down, or are you playing them when the beat is up? So let's say we count 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 beats in this measure, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. This one I counted how many beats? That's right, 2, because it's a half note. Now let's go to measure 10. Ta, ta, ti, ta, ta. My question is, how many beats are in this measure? Well, you don't have to think about it, because the time signature tells you there's 4 beats in every one of these measures. Ta, ta, ti, ta, ta. So when you play these eighth notes, the first ta that is the downbeat, and then the C is T, and it's played on the upbeat. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, using your tongue to articulate it. This measure, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Oh, look at that. Measures 10 and 11 are exactly the same rhythmically. They're not the same tonally. The first note is, the second beat, beat 2, B, C, B, C, that's the same. On the third beat, you're playing a B, that's the same. But look at the difference. On beat 4, in measure 10 and 11, this one's a G, this one's an A. Now, this final line of music, the fourth line, measures 13, 14, 15, and 16. These 4 measures are exactly the same as line 2. Measures 5, 6, 7, and 8. They are identical. That's called identical tonal and rhythmic imitation. Exactly the same. So once you know this line, it's like, oh, okay, I can play that line too because I already learned this one. As we discussed earlier, the double bar line means it's the end. However, I did put a repeat sign in here. So that will mean go back to the beginning in this instance. Sometimes the repeat sign doesn't always go back to the very beginning. Sometimes it goes back somewhere else. So know that in this example, it does go back to the beginning. Okay, now it's time to play.